Welcome to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Magic Mystery and the Multiverse, Book 1, The Marvelous Multiverse App by Aurora Winter. Anna Zest might look like your ordinary teen, dreaming of Hollywood stardom, but she's anything but typical. With enigmatic violet eyes that hide a secret even she's unaware of, her life takes a fantastical turn when she and her brother Zackary are thrust into an enchanting multiverse and find themselves in the heart of a cosmic mystery. So where we begin with the story is with Anna, and she's
gonna die.
Yeah, basically. She's been captured and she's going to be hanged. And I'm like, okay, this is the first chapter and this is obviously our main character and she's going to be hung to death. What is happening? What is going on? So we're immediately just thrust into the story. Yeah, I mean, we're not giving anything away. It's the very first chapter. She does get hung. But we quickly find out
she doesn't die.
She doesn't actually die. She was saved by a spider and by the orator. So we're introduced to some characters. We obviously know we're in like a different place because they talk differently, have different clothes. I mean, they hang people for God's sake.
Yeah, and it was a public hanging.
Yeah.
Then we got this Igor.
Yeah, Igor character.
There's different characters, like there's dwarves. Apparently they're like prison guards and they try to take something away from her that has magic and zaps them. So you get a feel that she's like a witch. That's the impression I got. Like she's being hanged.
Oh, immediately, yeah.
It's like a public hanging. There's magical creatures. There's dwarves.
But then she does mention like about this. There's no cell towers and things. So you're kind of like, okay, she obviously is from the future of some sort.
Yeah.
But like who? Like where is she? So after we find out she doesn't actually get hanged and she's alive, she's saved by Lord Orator and Igor.
They look into her past, like what got her in that situation. And the spider is like this, like a robot, right?
I know. I imagine all the authors has a lot of really neat and interesting creatures. They're almost like gadgets, but they're creatures. Like I imagine them as like made from metal and gears and things like that.
But they're smart because they listen.
Yeah, and like robotic or I don't know, some sort of AI. But I'm like, but they don't got cell towers.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
And the spider, it's pretty cool how the spider saves her. Like you have to read it on the hanging, like because the hanging does happen.
Right, definitely does happen.
She don't die. And then this orator gets her and kind of says, let's look into your past. Like, what got you in this situation? And the spider actually projects like a screen, right? Out of its like abdomen. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of dives into the past.
Prior to her being hung, that we then find out that Anna, her real name is Zorana, but she goes by Anna, and her brother Zackary, they are from
California.
I'm assuming present day, and then they are being sent to go live with their Uncle Shockley, who lives in London, and they're going to be attending a boarding school, which I was like, ooh, this is cool. Like, I felt like, ooh, Richie Pants sort of situation.
Even Zackary is like, oh, is it like Hogwarts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was so cool.
So a lot of cool references to like movies and other things. And we find out that they were in California because their dad is, so he's going to be away for some time, so he sends them to their uncle, which is his brother.
Yeah, which is his brother, who gives us super Haggard vibes, right? So these kids, you know, they're young kids, they're teenagers, they're coming into his house and stuff, and he's showing them around, and they obviously have like a lot of history of their family that they don't know about. And Anna's just asking him some questions and he says some stuff and then he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And it definitely gave us Haggard vibes with always saying things he shouldn't be saying.
That, and also you could tell he's a good caretaker. He cares for them. He does everything he needs.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. And apparently after they bring up anything with the family history, he just shuts down and moves on. And even Anna's eyes, how they're violet, her dad always asked her to wear contact lenses to hide the fact that they're violet, because apparently it would attract the wrong attention. So they always hid. She always wondered why. Like, she questioned it, but she still...
I love though how she always said, like, I have violet eyes, like that famous actress. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Anytime Zach brought it up, he was so annoyed. Like, he repeated. You get the relationship, it kind of feels like they're twins, right? Because they're always fighting with each other, but at the same time, they're like, each other's like, pump each other up and get into trouble a lot.
Yeah, they definitely have like a really close relationship. And that might be because Zackary, he's in remission. So he obviously has gone through a lot of medical issues. And I'm sure they've gotten close because of that. So that's why he's always hinting. He's always a little depressed and gloomy. He kind of doesn't see his future because he really believes like the cancer's going to come back and I'm just going to die.
Yeah, because he assumes his body's not going to be able to fight the next thing that comes along.
Right.
And he has like a dark sense of humor.
He does. Yeah, but a lot of humor. I love that this was strewn throughout the entire story. They're both very funny. Even though when there's serious moments happening, there's always some humor. And it's nice. It helps kind of connect their relationship also with the reader.
But the uncle, he's a mad scientist. Like, he's a professor of, what was it?
Quantum physics.
Quantum physics at the university. And apparently he builds all these gadgets himself and technology. Like, the kids are all in awe looking at his mansion. It seemed like a mansion. I don't know. It seemed pretty cool. Maybe they have a butler. But
I know, he's got a butler. It's got to be a mansion, dude.
Yeah. But he built a hydrogen-powered car that he also calls a pup, right?
A parallel universe pod.
Yep. Parallel universe pod. So you just get the impression like, is this like Back to the Future?
Ooh.
This is a time machine.
I know, that's cool.
So he gives him like free range of the house, do whatever you want. But of course, like any parent, any caretaker, do not touch this car.
Yeah.
Stay away from this vehicle. But I'm going to leave the keys right here.
I know. Oh my god. I was like, you're expecting some teenage kids not to do the one thing you're telling them not to. That's hilarious. He obviously has two kids.
And apparently he has some business to take care of, so he leaves the house.
Yeah, and he's like, but remember, the keys are right there.
Yeah. So as any parent knows, the kids got in it. And it was supposed to not work. But it turned on, and the AI talked to them. Yeah. And where do you want to go? Kids being kids, let's do a random road trip. Just take us wherever.
Wherever, just go, Jeeves.
Yeah. And they thought it was like a VR, like a virtual reality game. So they got in, they were playing around, but they end up turning it on, and that machine took them away, and they ended up crash landing on some trees. And when they get out of the car, they find out.
Yeah, they realize they have actually murdered someone. So I think what they are, they're called censors. So I think they're kind of like ruling governors of certain areas of this parallel universe that they're in. They killed the Emerald censor by mistake. They didn't mean to. But as soon as that happened, and then they found the dog Vito.
Yeah, and they injured the dog too. They hurt his leg.
Yeah, and then they injured the dog. I don't know, it just gave me like Wizard of Oz vibes. I was like, that was exactly what happened with Dorothy in the house. Lands on the witch, and she has a dog.
So they touch this sensor, and she ends up just like dissipating, right? She just vanishes. There's only a green dress on the floor. But some...
The cuffs.
Cufflinks.
Yeah, see, there's no shoes, but there's the cufflinks.
Yeah, the cufflinks that were on that sensor. I keep wanting to call her a witch, but
I know,
just a sensor
because it's Wizard of Oz.
That, and also the townspeople, they hate her. They call her a witch because they have magic and they kind of control these people. Yeah, there's a lot of like censors and just you can't say certain things. There's also the thought police. Like you have to think either nothing or happy thoughts around them. It's kind of interesting how it is.
Yeah. You're not allowed to be unhappy about anything that we make you do or not do.
Yeah. So she dissipates and those cufflinks end up on Anna. And she can't take them off, but apparently anyone who sees that, they know they belong to that green sensor. So she has to hide it.
So, and then she meets Igor and Cook.
Yeah. Igor, you could say he's kind of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame or the Igor from Transylvania.
I know, that's because he even talks with like a
list.
Like a list. And I don't know, he gives me like that like Hunchback vibe too.
Yeah, but he's like 6 foot something because they always say he's towering over these kids.
Yeah, and he's like, he knows how to like stitch and repair and like put things together. So
he takes them because they killed someone.
Oh, yeah. So he comes upon them and is like, whoa, you killed that lady.
So he takes them and the dog.
Yeah,
because the dog wouldn't leave him. So it kind of seemed like the dog got injured. So he's like, I'm not leaving the scene of the crime. You better fix this. So the kids and the dog and Igor go off, and then we meet Cook.
Right.
Who, it's like a goblin lady or a dwarf lady.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like a goblin type of lady. That's what I was imagining.
Yeah, like those goblin things from Frozen.
Oh yeah, the rock, the rock trolls or whatever.
Yeah,
those
trolls. She's a troll.
Right.
That's what I imagine. It kind of seems scary, like these creatures. Like, oh man, they're gonna eat them. They're gonna kill them because they killed this lady.
But also it's because they weren't understanding whatever language they were speaking, right? So they were just kind of like being hauled around. Until Igor introduces the, what is it called? The Babbler Eel Universal Translator.
The way it's written, it's like an eel that goes into their ears.
Yeah. Oh, so creepy.
They're able to understand each other.
Yeah, another little creature, a little cool. I loved it, actually. It creeped me out, but I was like, oh, that's so gross. But hey, it did the job. Now they know what they're all speaking.
So it's pretty cool to actually find out who they killed.
Right.
And they started celebrating in their kitchen. Yeah. They were about to make them food, right? I think she did make them food.
Right? Yeah. They're like, y'all are great. You killed this lady we hated.
We hate her. Everyone's going to be happy.
I know.
And apparently they also know the dog Vito. They end up taking off the leg so the bones could heal on the side, and he stitched another leg.
Yeah.
And so the dog's like...
Well, this is a parallel universe, so anything is possible, right? So
yeah. And apparently the dog hates it because he walks like in a limp because one leg's like longer than the others.
That's so sad.
And Anna knows because she understands the dog.
Yeah.
Like they could actually talk to each other.
Yeah, so now we find out that Anna can actually speak and listen to this dog.
Like understand.
I totally understand him, but nobody else can. So she's like, wait, you didn't just hear him say that? I did. So once that babbler eel got into her ear, she's now like a dog whisperer, animal whisperer.
Or maybe it's part of her magic.
Or maybe it's part of her magic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and she's even questioning the dog, like, how am I the only one that could listen to you or hear you out?
Right.
Yeah, and the dog's like, he said clearly, like, kind of annoyed, like, dogs talk all the time. It's just that the masters never listen. You know? And dogs are always yapping, they're always barking, you just think they're being annoying, but I guess, like, to Vito... They're always trying to say something.
Yeah, they're actually saying something. We just don't get it.
Yeah. So it's an interesting relationship, and I think it's pretty good that they stumbled upon Vito because he told her that he could smell lies, like when people are lying, and also he could sense danger. It's
great to have that sort of a companion around also. Someone who knows... Like, hey, tell me if this guy's being honest. Like, should we trust them? Should we go with them? Oh, and then another cool creature was the gossip fly. I would find super helpful even today, even though we have cell phones and stuff. So it's basically like this little flying creature where you can put in a message. It goes to the person, the recipient, and spouts out the message. And then it gives you time to put in a response. And it goes right back to the sender. It's like, I was like, that is so cool. I mean, it's essentially text messaging and stuff or, voicemail. But I don't know. I just think it's so much cooler if like some flying creature came into my house to tell me some stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I love that. I think that was like my favorite part.
Yeah, you could imagine a parrot coming to your windowsill telling you like, hey, your mom wants to know what time we're going to be home. And then it's just waiting for you, So you're going to reply back or no? So I could just go.
Yeah, so cute. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Cook, after they celebrate, Cook tells them that there's actually this wizard, like a good wizard that's out there that helps people out and that they have magic to heal. And when they find that out, of course, Anna's like, Zach, like, come on.
Yeah, we gotta go do this.
No one back in California or London could do anything for you. We're here. And apparently the hydrogen car ran out of fuel, so they can't go home yet. So they go off on a journey to find this wizard.
And so I feel like they're going on this journey for multiple reasons. To see if they can get Zackary healed, to find some way to get back to where they came from. And once Zackary gets kidnapped, Anna also has to save him.
But that's where their journey begins. This book also has a lot of good little nuggets, like true facts.
Oh, yeah.
Because we find out this pod, this futuristic car, was created as a hydrogen-powered car. And the uncle built it, and he's like, yeah, it's the first one ever created. And Zach's like, no. Because Zach, even though he's always dark and kind of
like doom and gloom. Like everything's terrible because I'm gonna die any second now.
Yeah.
So.
He's very sharp, and he loves cars. So he's like, no, actually, the first hydrogen car was made in 1965 when Roger Billings converted a Model A Ford as his high school science fair project.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and it was there.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's amazing.
I never even heard of a hydrogen-powered car at all. Read it first in this book, and then it's actually true fact. So I was like, all right, it's pretty cool.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and be sure to check out Magic, Mystery, and the Multiverse Book 1 by Aurora Winters.